Let me start by saying this, what I'm picking up on right now stopped me in my tracks before I even began this reading. Because the energy coming through for you is not ordinary. This is not a situation where someone thought of you once, maybe smiled, and moved on. No. What's happening with this person is something they cannot explain, cannot control, and honestly, at this point, cannot contain. You are living in their mind rent-free, and they are losing sleep over it. Literally. We're talking about 3 in the morning, eyes wide open, staring at the ceiling, and the only thing filling their mind is you. Your face. Your energy. The memory of how you made them feel. And no matter how many times they try to shut it down, no matter how many times they tell themselves to let it go, you come back. Every single time. So if you've been wondering whether someone out there is genuinely consumed by thoughts of you, I need you to hear this clearly, the answer is yes. And it's deeper than you even realize. Before we go any further, if this reading is meant for you, you already felt something shift the moment you clicked on this. That wasn't an accident. That was your energy recognizing that what's about to come through is directly connected to you. So settle in, because what I'm about to share with you is layered, it's intense, and it's going to make a lot of things suddenly click into place. Let's get into it. The first thing coming through for you is a heaviness. And I don't mean that in a dark way, I mean there is a weight to this connection that both you and this person can feel, even when you're not together, even when there's distance between you, even when neither of you has said a word to the other in days or maybe even weeks. The energetic thread between you and this individual is so thick, so tightly woven, that it honestly does not matter how much time passes. You pull on each other. That's just the truth. And this person is more aware of that than you might think. What I'm feeling from their side right now is a kind of internal conflict that's been quietly building for a while. This is not someone who typically loses control of their emotions. This is not someone who allows themselves to be this vulnerable, this open, this exposed. In fact, everything in their nature pushes against exactly what they're feeling right now. They've built walls. They've mastered the art of keeping people at a comfortable distance. They know how to go through the motions of connection without ever really letting someone in. But then there's you. And something about you bypassed every single one of those defenses, and they don't fully understand how that happened. At 3 a.m., when the noise of the day quiets down and there's nothing left to distract them, you are what shows up. And I want you to really sit with that, because that is not a small thing. The hours right before dawn are the most honest hours of the day. When someone is that tired, that vulnerable, that stripped of their usual armor, whatever fills their mind in those moments is the truth of what they're carrying. And what they're carrying is you. Now, let me get into the specifics of what I'm feeling energetically, because there's a lot coming through here and I want to make sure I give you all of it. This person has been replaying a specific moment between you two. I don't know if it was a conversation, a look, something that was said or almost said, but there is a moment they keep returning to. Over and over. And every time they replay it, they notice something new. A detail they missed in the moment. A feeling they didn't fully register until now. And the more they revisit it, the deeper it pulls them in. This is someone who is quite literally studying you in their memory, trying to make sense of why you affect them the way you do. I'm also picking up that there's a layer of frustration in their energy right now. Not frustration toward you, frustration toward themselves. Because they feel like they should be more in control of this. They feel like they should have moved on by now, or at least been able to quiet this down to something manageable. And instead, it's getting louder. It's getting more intense. The thoughts are coming more frequently. The 3 a.m. moments are becoming a pattern. And that pattern is telling them something they haven't fully allowed themselves to admit out loud yet. But they feel it. Deep down, in the part of them that doesn't lie, they feel exactly what this is. Let me talk to you about what's happening beneath the surface of this connection, because what I'm picking up spiritually goes much deeper than just attraction or longing. There is a soul recognition happening here. This is not your average situationship energy. This is not just someone with a crush who thinks about you sometimes. The pull this person feels toward you is rooted in something older, something that neither of you created in this lifetime. When they think of you, there is a familiarity that they can't quite place, and it unsettles them in the best and most confusing way. Like they know you. Like they've always known you. And the feeling is so disorienting because logically, given what's happened between you or how things currently stand, they shouldn't feel this close to you. But they do. They cannot shake it. Spiritually, I want you to understand that this is not a coincidence. The universe has been arranging this. The timing, the distance, the back and forth, none of it is random. There is a higher order to what's playing out between you two, and the 3 a.m. energy you're radiating into the universe is not going unanswered. Your energy is being felt. Your thoughts are landing. And this person is on the receiving end of a spiritual transmission whether they're conscious of it or not. Now I want to speak directly to where this person is emotionally in this present moment, because there is a message here I feel they need you to understand, even if they haven't found the words for it yet. They miss you. And I don't just mean they miss your presence, I mean they miss the version of themselves they are around you. There is something about being in your orbit that makes them feel like they can breathe differently. Like the parts of them they usually have to suppress or manage don't need to be managed around you. And losing access to that, whether it's because of circumstances, distance, pride, or fear, has left a hollow space in them that they are not filling no matter what they try. I'm picking up that they've attempted distraction. Maybe they've thrown themselves into work. Maybe they've spent time with other people. Maybe they've consciously tried to redirect their thoughts every time you come up. But none of it is sticking. None of it is working. Because you are not someone they can simply outthink or outbusy themselves away from. The connection runs too deep for surface-level distractions to have any real impact. And at 3 a.m., when they're lying there and you fill their mind again, there's a part of them that stops fighting it. There's a part of them that just lets it be. That surrenders to the thought of you, even if only for those quiet hours before sunrise. And in that surrender, they're more honest with themselves than they are at any other point in their day. I want to pause here and speak to you directly for a moment, because I'm also picking up on where you are energetically, and it's important. You have been wondering if any of this is real. You've been questioning whether what you feel from them is actually there or whether you're building something up in your mind. You've been going back and forth, analyzing, overthinking, pulling back, then being pulled right back in. And there's a weariness to that cycle that I feel in your energy right now. You are tired of not knowing. You are tired of the uncertainty. You've poured so much into understanding this connection, into trying to figure out where it stands and where it's going, and you deserve clarity. You deserve to know that what you're sensing is not in your imagination. It's real. What you feel from them is real. The pull is mutual. The depth is mutual. The 3 a.m. thoughts, they go in both directions, even if you haven't fully admitted that to yourself either. So let this reading be a moment of permission for you. Permission to trust what your gut has been telling you. Permission to stop second-guessing the bond you sense between you. Because the energy doesn't lie, and what's flowing between you and this person right now is undeniable. Let me tell you what I'm picking up about what this person wants to say to you but hasn't. There is a conversation sitting unspoken between you two. Something that has been hovering in the space between where things are and where they could be. This person has rehearsed it. I feel that very clearly. They've thought about how they would say it, what words they would use, how you might respond. And then something stops them. Fear, maybe. Pride, possibly. A deep vulnerability that they don't know how to manage, most likely. What they want you to know, what lives in the 3 a.m. version of them that is the most honest, is that they see you. Not just the surface of you. Not just the parts of you that are easy to see. They see the layers. They see the complexity and the softness and the strength all woven together, and it moves them in a way that very little in their life has. They have met many people. They have had many connections. But there is something they encounter in you that they have not found anywhere else, and that realization has not been an easy one for them to sit with. They want to reach out. The urge is strong. Sometimes it builds so much that their hand goes toward their phone and they start to compose a message, and then they stop themselves. Talk themselves out of it. But the urge comes back. It always comes back. Now, I want to address the spiritual layer of what's happening at 3 a.m. specifically, because this is important. That time, that specific window between roughly 3 and 4 in the morning, is not arbitrary. It's known as the hour when the veil between the physical and spiritual world is at its thinnest. When our guards are down and our souls are most communicative. When someone wakes in that window thinking of you, or finds themselves awake and unable to stop thoughts of you flooding in, that is a soul-level reaching. That is not just a passing thought. That is their energy seeking yours in the most unguarded state a human being can be in. And what I want you to understand is that this has been happening more and more for them. It started as occasional. Maybe once in a while, they'd have a dream with you in it, or a sudden thought would surface at an odd hour. But it's escalated. The universe is turning up the volume. And the reason it's turning up the volume is because there is something between you that has not been resolved, something that is pushing to come to the surface, something that both of you are being spiritually guided toward whether you're ready for it or not. This is not getting out of hand in a bad way. It is getting out of hand in the way that transformation always does, messily, undeniably, in ways that can't be ignored or managed or put neatly back in a box. Something is cracking open between you. And what comes out of that opening is going to change things. Let me talk about what I see ahead, because there is forward movement coming and you need to hear this. There is a shift approaching in the dynamic between you and this person. What has been internal, unspoken, and quietly burning beneath the surface is going to start moving outward. Something is going to break the current silence or distance. And when it does, there will be an honesty in the exchange that has been missing. A rawness. A moment where the usual games and defenses fall away and what remains is just the truth of what this is. I feel strongly that this person is going to reach out. The timing feels close, the energy is building toward a point of release and they are getting closer and closer to the edge of saying something. When they do, I want you to be ready. Not in a scripted or guarded way, but ready in the sense of being open. Because what they bring to you when that moment comes will require you to be present, to be real, and to receive it without immediately retreating into self-protection. There is also healing energy weaving through this reading. And I don't say that lightly. What I'm seeing ahead for this connection carries a quality of repair, of something being returned to wholeness. Whether that's between the two of you together, or within each of you individually as a result of finally facing this, there is mending that wants to happen here. There is a return to something that was almost lost, and the universe has been working patiently behind the scenes to make sure that return is possible. I want to take a moment to speak to the ones watching this who've been patient. Who have given space, who have held themselves back, who have done the inner work even when they weren't sure it was leading anywhere. I feel you. Your consistency in your energy, your commitment to your own healing even while carrying the weight of this connection, that is not going unnoticed. Not by the universe, and not by this person. They feel your steadiness even when they don't say so. They compare others to you and find the comparison lacking. They know, even in the times they push against it, that what they have found in you is not ordinary, is not replaceable, and is not going to quietly disappear from their heart no matter how much time passes or how much distance sits between you. That's the thing about a genuine soul connection, you can't fake your way out of it. You can put up walls, you can go silent, you can try to rationalize it away with logic, but at 3 a.m. when the logic is asleep and only the truth is awake, you find yourself right back where you started. Thinking about them. Feeling them. Wondering. For the ones who have been feeling like this connection has stalled, like you've been standing at a crossroads with no movement, like something needs to shift but you can't see how, the energy I'm receiving tells me that the waiting period is ending. Not slowly, not vaguely, I mean there is a genuine energetic completion happening around the stagnancy you've been feeling. The stillness is about to break. And what comes through that break is going to feel like finally exhaling after holding your breath for far too long. Whatever has been frozen between you and this person, the ice is melting. Whatever has been buried, it is surfacing. And you are going to feel it before you see it, a shift in your own energy first, a lightness, a sense that something is moving toward you rather than away. Trust that feeling when it comes. Don't dismiss it as wishful thinking. It is your spiritual perception working correctly. Let me give you a final message, and I want you to receive this fully. This person is not going to stop thinking about you. They have tried. They have genuinely, earnestly tried. And every time the silence grows between you, every time they convince themselves they've moved past it, you cross their mind again. At 3 a.m. In the middle of the day. In the quiet moment right before sleep. You are woven into their consciousness in a way they cannot undo, and truthfully, they're no longer entirely sure they want to. Because buried underneath the confusion and the walls and the unspoken fear is a feeling they haven't been able to name until now. And that feeling is that losing you, truly losing you, permanently, would be a loss they would spend a very long time recovering from. That's the weight they're carrying. That's what keeps them awake. That's what brings them back, night after night, to the thought of you in the dark hours before morning. You are not just someone they liked. You are not just someone they'll think fondly of one day from a distance. You are someone that changed something in them. And that doesn't go away. That stays. It echoes. It shows up at 3 a.m. and refuses to be quiet. So hear me when I say, the intensity of what this person feels, the fact that this keeps happening, the fact that it's getting stronger rather than weaker, that is not something to be afraid of. That is something to pay attention to. Because what's getting out of hand is the truth trying to make itself known. And the truth, when it finally comes out, is going to be worth every sleepless night you've both spent arriving here. Trust your energy. Trust what you feel. Something is coming. And it's already been woven into the fabric of what happens next between you. If this reading resonated with you, please like this video and leave a comment below. I read every single one. If you feel called to share this with someone who needed to hear it today, please do. And subscribe if you haven't yet, because I go live regularly and I would love to connect with you there. Until next time, trust the process. Protect your energy, and know that you are never being forgotten by the ones who are truly meant to find their way back to you.